What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be going through how to choose a domain name for a website. So depending on whether you have a blog or you have some kind of niche website or authority site, this video is going to be very helpful to you because we're going to go through a few different tools that I actually use to create business names. And we're also going to look at a few other alternative ways of finding names that you may not really have in the immediate line of thinking. All right, so one of the tools that I actually use is a tool called Business Name Generator. So this is a free tool, it's very good. And what you want to do with any of these tools is you always want to put in something very broad. So you give the tool its full potential at potentially finding you a name. All right. So if you do something too specific, then it's not going to be able to go and search that. So say, for example, we wanted to make a site about wealth or something like that. So we could put wealth in here. And what it also does is it tries to redirect you to GoDaddy because they're an affiliate of that. So a lot of these sites will redirect you, don't worry. That's obviously check domain availability with GoDaddy, so you can switch that off and it will stop happening. But if we take a look at this, we can see all of these different names, and what it does is you can see here like Wealthopedia, which is something you might have not thought of. The only thing is, when you go for a domain like this, you might potentially get into a bit of a hiccup with the name registrar service. So say, for example, I recommend Namecheap, or you might use GoDaddy or something like that. Yeah, so to register the domain, in that scenario, they might say you're in conflict with, Wikipedia or something like that, or are you going to use it for a purpose similar to theirs? If you say yes, then obviously they won't give it to you, and if you say no, they potentially will still allow you to make the purchase, because I've experienced it with one of my domains in the past where this happened. And then you can see there's a few different pages here, and sometimes this isn't the final answer, but it leads you on to finding other ideas. The way I actually try to find my names as well is you always want to break it down into just a few syllables. So it's how it rolls off the tongue. For example, something like this Business Name Generator, it's quite long-winded. It's probably not something I would go for usually, but it's the type of site it is. It works. If you're going to create like a service-based site, then you can have this kind of name to the site. But if you're creating an online blog or something like that, then you're going to probably want something a lot more catchy. So if we take a look at this, you can see like Wealth Active, Wealth Independent, Wealth Dash, Wealth Alpha. And if you are wondering if any of these names are available, .coms and stuff, this is not giving you that. This is just giving you the names, so then you can go off and potentially try and figure out something else, or go and test it and see if it is available. But it's not showing you the available domain names here. This is the second one. So if we put wealth into here, you can actually this again redirects you, but you can see all the available domains here. So this one, it says, look, works best with 2 or 3 keywords. So wealth. So this will pull out all of the different available domain names on the internet. So these ones that you see here are actually names that you can go and purchase right now on Namecheap, GoDaddy, so on and so forth. So these are available for purchase, and you can see it's got no more results here, but it usually, what I find is, gives you the best answers in the SEO tab. There are other ones, like this is like AI or something like that, not sure on that. Short names, so wealth.at, you always want to go for like a .com, unless you're like an organization or something. You can see here like wealthnation.org and so on and so forth. Our Wealth Nation, that sounds all right. Our Wealth Nation. I usually try to go for 2 or 3 syllables, so some of these are a bit too long. And if you do get stuck, try and think of, like, first of all, the ideal kind of situation is you want to get a one-worded name. But if you can't get a one-worded name, then the next best thing is going to be 2 words merged together, but you want like a maximum of like 4 syllables. And one of the businesses that do this really well that I see online is Income School. So they've got a few sites like Embora Pets, Knife Up, Dirt Bike Planet. Yeah, so it's 4 syllables. So those 4 syllables in 2 words. So 2-worded names with 4 syllables, 3 or 4, sound good. So I've done it with a few sites. So you just want to think of something that rolls off someone's tongue and something that can potentially grow into anything in that sense, depending on what type of site you're building. So I've got a few notes here to help you. And as I said, these are all available domains. So one of the other things is you could put in something just super broad, but they said it works best with 2 words. But I don't know. I've got a dog site. So let's see if I put in a dog. And then you want to also think about different things that are associated with the niche. So you see you can go dogkeys.com. That's pretty cool. Indo dog. I like that as well, depending on what Indo means. If you like put poor or something like that, then you might come out with more names. So sometimes it's like thinking of other areas of the niche. So if you were like, say for example, in like a niche that's about shooting or something like that, you might use like trigger or hammer, those kind of things that are associated with a gun, a bullet, I'm not sure, like anything that's associated, magazine, well not maybe magazine because that's too ambiguous, yeah, but trigger bots, you know, you can see trigger bits. So trigger bits, you know, that's a very cool name, you see. So trigger bits, 3 syllables, 2 words. That would be like the perfect name that I would go for. And this is available. If we was to go to Namecheap, you would see it available. Let's actually copy it and check it and you'll see it available. There we go, triggerbits.com. So the best tool, this one, what I'd give this is a 9 out of 10. Very, very good for finding domain names. And as I said, what you want to do is sometimes think of other things in the niche. And if you can't think of that, then if I was to put gun and put synonyms, yeah, you can do this in Google and you can bring up similar words. So firearm, weapon, shooter, cannon, piece, you see. So like cannonparts.com or cannon bits or whatever, gat, that's so street, rod, Roscoe, shooting iron, shoot down, hit, wound, so on and so forth. And then you could also do like gun related words or something like that, like relatable words, other ways of finding like 100+ words for gun. Look, silencer, shotgun. So if you can't think of words to put into here, you just do that and then you can see how you can find them. So this like gunlock.com, that even sounds pretty cool, you know, something like that, gunlock. But you can see how these names, yeah, look, a gunlock, iGunlock. So if it was like digital or something, new gunlock, up gunlock, just gunlock, whatever. So there's a bunch of different names that you can get there. Now the next one is a premium service, and this one is very good because you can purchase the domain, but it also comes with a logo available and all of that. So if we're gonna say, let's just pick a random niche, okay, shooting, because that's like something what we was just talking about. So now you can select how many letters you want included within the name. So say for example, we wanted something very short and very branded, yeah, it's going to go out there and find these names. So you can see, look, shootia, the shoot, rifle. So this is rifle.com. See, so you can, it's rifle, but RIIFLE, which is really good name. And you can see it's already coming with the actual logo. And what's good is because I've seen a lot of people who actually do videos on this, who teach you how to create these logos and sell them on here, because you can see how much people are buying these logos for and these business names. So you get the domain name and the actual logo with it, you know. So this is very good for if you're looking for a kind of a boxed up business to just go and get started with, yeah. You can see spur.com, Breet, Finate, coating, like there's a bunch, cating, I think, yeah, so a bunch of different ones, hunting. So look, HNTING, and that's $2,395, so $2,400. I mean, I personally wouldn't pay that much to start off with a domain, but if it was a really good name, then probably, you know, you might consider that. You can see here, look, 2,400, and maybe we can set like a filter to try and find cheaper names or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe there's like some way of filtering for cheaper names, but this is, it's very good, you know. Look, kickit.com. So this one, I think it's not even registered, so you can purchase the logo and then from there can go by the domain, yeah. So if we say kickit.com, that could potentially be available on Namecheap. So that's the third website. And honestly, I'd give this a 10 out of 10 because it's brilliant. The only thing is that it's very expensive, but if you got the funds for it, then look at that, shootsy.com, like brilliant. You got the logo ready, everything good to go. Like, I think it's absolutely brilliant. Very good service. All right, so that's that. Now, what I want to do is just give you a quick breakdown of understanding different types of domain names depending on the type of business that you're building on the internet or the type of website. So I've got a few examples here of different things to understand about different domains. So there are like something what we call in SEO called exact match domains, which are also referred to as EMDs. What these are domains that have your exact keyword that you're trying to rank for in the actual name of the entire website. A good example is Alex's website on WP Eagle. So he has a site called bestroofbox.com. Well, that's an exact match domain. So that he's trying to rank for best roof box. That's like his main keyword that he wants to rank for. Well, not at this point, because I've seen his strategy change a bit, but usually what people do is they would use that on a niche website that's usually about 20 to 50 pages, and they will have Best Roof Box as the main article, and then all of the other articles on the site are like subcategories of Best Roof Boxes. All right, and then they all link up to it like in a silo format. So the benefits of these is they're easier to rank and they're faster to rank, because they're very relevant and closely related keywords. Also, it gives you that topical relevance. So if you've got a bunch of different articles on the site, and then the main article on the homepage is all about best roof boxes, then you've got like a very high chance at ranking fast because of the relevance that it's showcasing to search engines. All right, the cons to this is you can only scale as big as the niche a lot of the time. So you're limited, like for example, Best Roof Box, you're limited to creating only articles about roof boxes. So what about other things that people might use on cars and whatever else? So that's the whole purpose of it being a niche website, which can work in two ways, because obviously it can work beneficial because you're getting fast rankings, and if your plan is to buy or build it and sell it, then that's pretty good, or build and hold it, then that's pretty good because you can build it and then move on to something else. But it also usually I find needs a lot of technical SEO work. So if you're not like technically minded and you're just trying to build a very small kind of passive income type website without having to do all the heavy SEO work, then you probably don't want to go for like an exact match type domain. Now, partial match domains, PMDs, what these are is when one of your given keywords that you're trying to rank for is within your domain name. Okay, so say for example your site is, so you have Best Roof Boxes is a good example. So your site's all about roof boxes, but then you're called roofboxrefurbs.com, so, or something like that. So you're all about roof boxes, but all your articles are not specifically on refurbs. You might have like Best Roof Box for blah, 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 but just the fact that the word roof box is also in the name is a partial match. So you've got the actual domain name that has roof box within it, and then you've also got articles that are roof boxes for this, or this roof box, or why is your roof box XYZ, all of those different things. Again, these are very easier to rank, great for topical relevance, just like EMDs, but you can go for topics that are a lot larger than EMDs. So me personally is a prime example of a PMD. I had a website that was a partial match, and I've now expanded it into just a branded type broad name. You can usually go for niches that are a lot more wider than what you would do with an exact match type domain. So instead of going for a specific type of breed of dog in this example for golden retrievers, you might just go for dogs in general, or you might go for pets and animals like in general, so you can do that with a partial match domain. The last type of domain example is a branded domain. So this is where you just get like a complete made up creative name. So one of the best examples of this, Alex Nerney's site, avocado.com. We all eat like avocado, and he just remixed it and called it avocado. So that's just a complete made up name. It's related to fruit or whatever, but it's not, there is no like connection to it on a word by word basis, so there's no word against word comparison to that. Okay, and to the search engines, it's just a random brand name. So we've got easier for outreach. The reason why is because it doesn't showcase that you're just all about commercial content, whereas bestroofbox.com, like even attempting to contact a website, obviously immediately that site knows that it's all about making money. Like they're trying to monetize, probably with affiliate. You also sound like a lot better and memorable to your readers. So avocado.com is like, it's memorable, it's short, it's catchy. You're not limited to, not getting the name that you want because you're making something up. It's also like very memorable because it's different, and it's just like it's a brand, it's a name. Usually associate color schemes with this as well, which work very well on these type of websites. They are also better for branding overall, like I said, because of those bonuses of it being very unique, specific to whatever industry you're in. And then at the same time, you've also got color schemes that you can work with, as I just mentioned. And then also you can scale them to the moon. So you can scale these kind of branded domain names however big you want. You're not limited to just about, my thing, like golden retrievers, or limited to dogs, or limited to roof boxes. You can just go about at the top level of the niche. So say for example, if you're doing it about dogs, you might just go like animals, you know, so it's just like an animal website and it's just a massive authority kind of website. That's the kind of thing that you could do. Now, a lot of people might argue the fact like could use a partial domain for a top of niche website, and you totally could. There's no rules there. It's just probably better practice to get all the benefits out of just making it branded opposed to partial match. I keep saying the match. Now, the cons to using a branded name is that it's going to be a lot slower to rank, and the reason why is because it's going to take search engines a lot more of a longer time to figure out what your site's about. So it's going to have to predominantly do that through your content. And on websites, homepages hold quite a lot of weight. If you're not trying to do it through your homepage, then of course, obviously, it might be a bit more difficult to rank. So that sums up branded domains. All right, so I've got a few links here and so on and so forth. I'll leave a link to this side of the video description box as well. All right, so you now know what exact match domains are, partial domains are, and branded. The last thing I want to show you is expired domains. So there's a website that I specifically use to find expired domains, which is expireddomains.net. This is a really good site purely because like it basically scrapes through like the internet and finds all of the domains that are recently deleted or listed on marketplaces, so on and so forth, that are expired. You can segment them like that, and sometimes they have like thousands available. Okay, there's 172 that are just deleted specifically. If you go through, you usually find like all these different domains, thousands of them. So you can see, look, right now they're bringing out like, look, closeout domains. There's 395,000 and 51,000 new ones. So it will actually bring up all that information. So what I tend to do is just usually just click about, to be honest, and find what else is on here. But they used to have a different kind of homepage. So if we go through to like deleted domains, just say for example, we can see, okay, so there's 1.4 million domains in the last 7 days, and this can give you inspiration, because sometimes, you know, you might find a name that just rolls off your tongue very well in your niche. But what you want to do is set up a filter. So if you have like, say for example, a particular kind of niche you're trying to go for, then you might put that like domain name contains and then like dog or something like that. So this will bring up like a partial match, but it might lead you on to other things. So you can see here, look, dogsenjoy.fr, conceptdogtraining.co.uk. That's like probably like an exact match, I would say. johnnydogwalker.co.uk, so on and so forth. But you can also set up so they only bring up the .coms. So yeah, all you do is go up to additional and then you just click .coms only, so you only want .coms. One of the other things which is very good, if you actually take this out and you were just looking for a name or website to just begin, like randomly a niche kind of thing, you could limit to the name having like just a certain amount of characters. So if you wanted to find like those short kind of names, you could have like 3 to 6 characters only, and it has to be a .com, and then you click apply filter and it brings up all these names. You can also make it so it's in English, and then you can see, yeah, so now it has words like homes, bot, area, so on and so forth. But sometimes if you go through different things, you can see this like 7,000 in here right now, 311 pages. So you'll have a hard time getting through all of them, but you will also find like about 70% junk inside of these expired domains. What's good is if you actually look through all of this, it shows you like how many backlinks it has, so on and so forth, and like, you know, Moz rankings and all different things. But what I would usually do is, if you're going to look at potentially buying one of these, then go and drum it into a tool called Wayback Machine, which is like an archive online organization. And you can drum it in there and see any previous purposes the website was used for, if it has been used, and then maybe just use Ahrefs backlink checker to see the kind of links that are coming into the site and so on. That's only if you're like a technical kind of person, or an SEO, I should say. All right, but that's it. So like, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then make sure to smash that like button. If you are new to the channel, then you may want to consider subscribing. I do a lot of videos just like this. And if you are looking for more information on picking the right domain names, then I highly recommend you check out my ebook, which I recently created, called Niche Site Amazon Secrets. Yes, there has been changes to Amazon, and yes, I have adapted the book to compensate for that. So there's very much good methods inside of the book that will teach you how to build, scale, and monetize a niche website. So if you are interested in that, you can check that out in the description. It's only $37. Yeah, as I said, If you are new, make sure to subscribe and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.